G'day, Adam here for Black Magic Tackle. What we're doing today is talking about knots, and knots is the most fundamental part of fishing. If you don't get your knots right, things are going to go wrong. You're going to lose tackle, you're going to lose fish. So what I've done is put a series of little videos together featuring fundamental knots, how to tie them, and why you should use them and when you should use them, with little tips along the way about how to make the best knot. So have a look at these and go and practice your knots. There's a few tips when it comes to tying knots. What I like to do is warm up my leader by running through my fingers a few times and giving it a stretch. This makes sure it lies flat and doesn't have any coils in it and makes it easy to tie. When you're tying your knots, take time to make sure that all your lines are lying flat and your loops and everything are nice and tidy. Once you've formed your knot, don't pull it up quickly. And also always wet your knots. Saliva is the best thing and it's always on hand. Then carefully snug your knot up. Don't pull it fast, because what that will do is create friction which will burn your line and could damage it or even break it. And when you're pulling it down, pull it down slowly, let the knot form, and then tighten it with firm pressure. Once it's tightened, it will never let go if tied properly. Some people like to burn the ends off their tag end just to make it nice and tidy. And this is okay, and it does add a little bit more protection from not slipping, but you have to be careful not to burn your main line, because the heat can damage it and cause a breakage. Black Magic make a range of traces and leaders which are suitable for all sorts of fishing. Starting with the supple leader. I like the supple leader when I'm fishing over sandy ground or surf casting, because it's a nice flexible leader and it's easy to tie and it snugs up really well. And then there's Black Magic Tough Trace, which, as it says, is a bit tougher and it's a bit stiffer as well. So if you're fishing for fish that are tough like kingfish, or in areas where it's really foul and there's a lot of snags and you need something with a bit more abrasion resistance, Tough Trace is for you. Then there's Black Magic Fluorocarbon, and this is my go-to when I'm fishing lures, especially soft baits. And the reason I like Black Magic Fluorocarbon is it's the same refractive index as water, which means it doesn't reflect light, so it's less visible, and it also ties up really well, and it knots well, and it's tough. In the lighter line weights of fluorocarbon, Black Magic also have a supple fluorocarbon and a tough fluorocarbon. The supple fluorocarbon I would use for trout spinning and fly fishing, and the tough fluorocarbon I'd use when I'm using it for light tackle soft baiting or fishing with any sort of light tackle in salt water. With all these knots, there are always variations, but the first knot we're going to show you today is the simple clinch knot, and this is the knot that most people learn when they first start fishing, and it's not a bad knot. Pass the end of the line through the eye of the hook or lure. Wrap the tag end around the standing line 5 to 7 times. For light line, go up to 7 turns. Take the tag end and pass it through the loop just above the eye of the hook. Wet the knot. Saliva or water works great to reduce friction. Hold the tag end and the standing line, then pull slowly to tighten the wraps down to the eye. Snip off the excessive tag close to the knot. The clinch knot is easy to tie, works well with mono and fluorocarbon. It's not so good for braid, and it has average knot strength. There is a version of the clinch knot called the improved clinch knot, which makes a more reliable knot and is more suitable for braided line. Pass the tag end of your line through the eye of your hook or lure or swivel. Wrap the tag around the standing line 5 to 7 times. Use 6 or 7 for light line, 4 or 5 for heavier line. After wrapping, pass the tag end through the small loop just above the eye of the hook. Now pass the tag end through the big loop that you've just created after going through the first one. Moisten the knot, saliva or water works fine here, and then tighten. Pull the standing line slowly while holding the tag end to snug the coils down tightly against the eye. Trim the tag end. My go-to knot for about 75 to 80% of my fishing is the uni knot. It's very versatile, it's very reliable. You can use it to tie traces, you can use it to tie hooks and swivels, and you can use it to join lines and even snell hooks. So the uni knot is probably my favorite knot. The uni knot is easy to tie, it won't slip, it works with braid, mono and fluorocarbon, and it has a good knot strength. Pass the tag end through the eye of the hook, swivel or lure and double back, forming a loop alongside the standing line. Wrap the tag end around the doubled line, both standing line and loop, 5 to 7 times. Moisten the knot, then pull the tag end to snug the coils down. Slide the knot down the eye of the hook by pulling the standing line firmly to set. Cut off the excess tag. A variation on the uni knot is the back-to-back uni or double uni. This is a magnificent knot for joining lines together, especially braid, mono, or braid and fluorocarbon. Lay the two lines to be joined overlapping each other by 5 to 10 centimeters. Tie the first uni with line A, make a loop around line B, wrap the tag end of line A around both lines 4 to 6 times, then pull the tag end to tighten, but not all the way. Tie the second uni knot. Repeat the same process with line B. Make a loop around line A, wrap 4 to 6 times and snug it up, but not too tightly. Wet the knots. Pull both standing lines in opposite directions. The two uni knots will slide together and jam tight. Trim the tag ends snugly. The back-to-back uni is good for joining lines of similar diameter. It can be a bit bulky when running through guides if you're using heavy line. It will work with braid, mono and fluorocarbon, and it has average knot strength. The uni knot can also be used to snell leader to hooks. This is especially useful when you're trying to tie heavy leader onto smaller hooks. Pass the line through the eye of the hook from the point side and extend the tag end by 5 to 10 centimeters. Lay the tag end along the shank and form a loop near the bend. Wrap the tag end around the shank and through the loop 5 to 7 times. Moisten the knot and pull the tag end to snug the wraps. Then pull the standing line to set. Trim the tag end snugly. One of the most common questions I'm asked is about joining different leaders and lines together. For example, braid to fluorocarbon or braid to monofilament. And there's lots of different ways to do this. But if you're connecting heavy line, thick trace to braid, one of the most simple knots to use is the Albright knot. And here's a demonstration of how to tie it.
Form a loop in the thicker line, the leader line. Pinch the end to form the loop fully. Pass about 10 to 15 centimeters of the thinner line, the main line, back through the loop. Wrap the thin line around both strands of the loop 10 times, working back towards the loop opening. Keeping your turns as even as possible will make this knot easy to tie. Pass the end of the thinner line back through the loop the same way it entered. Wet the knot. Pull both ends of the thin line while holding the loop to snug everything down. Trim the tag ends. You can use a flame to make your tag end a bit tidier, but be careful not to burn any of your lines. The Albright knot is good for joining lines of different diameter. It can be a bit bulky when running through the guides. It works well with braid, mono and fluorocarbon and has average knot strength.
One of the most challenging knots in this series is the FG knot. It looks very complicated, but once you've mastered it, it's a simple knot to tie. The reason we use it is because it's very reliable, it's great for attaching braid to fluorocarbon on monofilament, and it also travels over the guides, and it can be used with light tackle and heavy tackle. So the FG is one worth mastering.
You'll find the FG knot easy to tie if you've got light tension on the main line. Anchor your rod or use tension on the braid main line to keep it taut. With the leader line pointing down, wrap the braid over and under in alternating hitches 20 to 25 times to create a tight braid over the leader. It's important to keep these wraps uniform. Once you've done your turns, add 2 half hitches to lock the knot securely. It's important now to pull firmly on the braid and the leader to tighten and bed the knot in. Now trim the leader section of the knot close to the braid. Once you've trimmed the tag end off your leader, tie 2 more half hitches around the braid alone. You can finish the knot with a risotto finish, but this is optional. I've tied one here just to show you how it's done. The FG creates an ultra slim, strong connection, perfect for joining braid to mono or fluorocarbon, especially good for casting and top water applications.